get our underhook, all right? This underhook is going to be my weak side because I'm a righty. I want my right hand on his chin. That's my strong hand, okay? So I'm gonna underhook with my weak hand, my left hand. Now to get into this underhook, you can do it a number of different ways. You can come here, club in the head, shoot your underhook, grab that wrist, he turns it out, up into your underhook. But we're gonna focus on from here. Now, our setup, we wanna trick this man. We wanna get to our front headlock as easy as possible. And by doing so, we need to trick him. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fake the shot. I'm gonna change my level, fake my high crotch, and if you look, this is his post here. All right, I'm gonna get him to react and pull that leg back. That's gonna get him that post back, and all I need to do is just pull down a little bit, and he's coming down to that mat. Now, if I have a good enough fake, he's gonna almost sprawl and make it even easier for me. All right, so we're gonna fake a high crotch, pull him down to our front headlock. Now, when we do this, the main focus here is not my step, not my reach. It's this arm, okay? Now, if I just do this, change my level, step and reach, I might get a little reaction out of him, but he's not gonna take the bait. I need to open him up here, okay? See, he still feels comfortable here with this arm. He can stop my shot, but the second I open him up, he's very vulnerable. He's gonna pull that leg back even quicker. So what I want to do is I have good head position. I'm going to open this window. When I open this window, I'm going to jam it all the way to the ceiling as high as I can. Change my level, hit my fake. Now, I'm going to shut this window, pull it down right to my front headlock. Right down here. You just pull it down to our front headlock. Now, we need to work from here. Your partner needs to give you a good feel. He's got to have a good base here because he needs to carry your weight. All right? When we get our front headlock, most people, young, middle school, high school, even on, coaches on the open international level, sometimes they'll do one thing, it doesn't work, and then they just stop. And they think they're going to take a break here and get a rest. Well, if you're taking a rest, what do you think this guy's doing? Taking a rest, okay? You make this guy work. You make him carry your weight at all times. You should never be on your knee. If you go to your knee, it's for a split second. Okay, so when I get to my front headlock, shoulder pressure right in the middle of his back, just below his neck. Okay, I'm here, I'm on my toes, my butt's not in the air, my hips are in, and I'm putting pressure on this man, making him carry my weight. All right, now this is probably the hardest thing that you will learn with your front headlock is learning how to move this man. Okay, we're going to learn how to move him, put him in motion, and bounce him. All right, so what I want to do, circle this way, right there. All right, I'm in my front headlock. Now, I got pressure, I'm on my toes, I'm not on my knees, I don't want to put the weight on him yet. And now I'm going to circle, think of a clock. We're about 6 o'clock right now. I want to get out to about 7 o'clock, get an angle. Wrestling is all angles, so I want to get out to 7 o'clock. Now I'm going to take my weight off, and I'm going to try to snap his head right into the mat. Is it going to happen? No. Okay, but that's what I want to do. I want to snap his head, bounce it off the mat, come back up to my toes. Okay, so I'm here, I'm going to circle to 7 o'clock, I'm going to take my weight off for a split second. Now I'm going to bounce his forehead off the mat. See, it didn't bounce, but I moved him. Now I come back up to my toes. Okay, so we're going to circle, pull, back up. Circle, pull, back up. Okay, that's making this man move. Putting him in motion. Our first takedown we're going to do is what? Going to be a go behind, spin behind. Perfect. Now, everything that we do comes off of moving this man. All right? Now, I'm going to start my front headlock. I'm going to circle, I'm going to pull. As soon as I pull him, I'm going to start to go to my go behind. Now, depending on what this guy does, what this guy gives me, I'll use. All right? If he is not attacking my elbow, because a lot of times we'll get a front headlock and this guy will lock down on this elbow here, making it a little difficult to do some things, but we can still function here. If he's not grabbing my elbow, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to our go behind and we're gonna slip our arm. I'm gonna circle, I'm gonna pull. As soon as I pull him, I come back up to my base. I'm gonna take my hand that's on the chin, I'm gonna pass it between my body and his head. Okay, I'm here, here. I'm gonna actually rest my forearm on the back of his neck here. All right? My hand is palm out. I'm gonna be blocking this arm. This hand is gonna go attack his butt. Okay? Now, when I'm here, I attack his butt, I run behind. We're gonna go back to circle, we pull him. We're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna attack his butt, but we cannot slip our arm here because he's holding on to it. And your partner doesn't have to right now because it might be a little difficult if it's not like that match-like feel like I was saying. If you can hold on to it, good. So circle, we're gonna pretend. All right, you don't have to look this. I'm here, I'm gonna circle, I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna pretend, I'm gonna pretend that he's holding on to my hand or my elbow or whatever. Now, I still wanna go and attack his butt. Now, he's holding on to my arm. What I'm gonna do is, when I get my angle, I'm here, I pull him, I get my angle here. Now, I can't just go all the way behind. I can't just go all the way behind, I'm here. I attack his butt, he's holding on to my hand here or my elbow, I can't go all the way behind. What I'm gonna do is, he's losing a post, think of a table here, all right? His post one of his legs are gone. I want to lift, come down hard with my elbow, and I'm going to attack, drive into him towards his head, okay? Now, if you catch him good, you might be able to run him right to his back. If not, he's gonna belly out, you get your takedown, okay? So when we're here, what I wanna do is I wanna run into him with my hips. All right? I wanna explode into him. If I don't run in with my hips, my legs are gonna be back here and I'm just kind of driving. It makes it a little difficult. So I attack with my hips. I'm gonna actually lift my chest up and run my hips in. Taking him that way, over his shoulder here, run! And lift, taking him to his back. Reality. I start driving into this guy, I'm actually kind of pushing him away from me, right? What he's probably going to do to not get taken down, he's going to circle with me, all right? We're gonna do this slow, just circle. Put your hands down, now just circle. Circle on all fours. There you go. He's circling with me. Now, see how this outside leg comes up? What's gonna happen is, that outside leg's gonna come up, and he almost senses the light of day over there. All right? He's going to come up. He's going to circle, he's gonna be here, he's gonna circle to try and stay square with me, and then all of a sudden he sees there's nothing over here. And I start to come up and I try to get out. When that happens, I'm in position to finish the takedown. Okay? We're gonna do this real slow. All right? When I circle, I pull. All right? I get my angle, I run this down. I get this angle, I run it down. Now, as I start to drive into him, I almost drive him up to his feet. All right? So I start to come here, start to come up, post. He starts to come up, exactly. Now, his hand is going to release. I'm here. Remember how high I was? I was up high on his thigh. It starts to drop. Now I can drop my hand. I have a tight, secure grip. All right? He wants to come up. I'm going to let that head go. He comes up. Look where I am. Right to finish my high crouch. Another one that you guys have seen or probably heard of. It's called head in the hole. Okay? Now, I'm going to focus on a couple key things here. All right? When I'm talking about the head in the hole, my head, that's the hole. Okay? Now, everything happens, off and pull. I'm going to circle, I'm going to pull this man. Now, when I pull him, I want to get this arm extended. If I can get this arm extended, you better believe it, I'm going head in the hole. Okay? Now, I circle, I pull him. Now, when I say the arm gets extended, I'm going to get his elbow up here, towards his ear. He's extended now. Now, don't try and get your head all the way underneath. I mean, is it good to have it there? Yeah, it's okay, but we don't need to have it. All we need is about from our ear back to the back part of our head, behind this arm. All right? I'm gonna be here. Once I have this, I should get my head, I should be able to finish this move. All right? Now, a couple key points here. I want to focus all my energy, all my strength on this part of his body, his neck and his shoulder. All right? Now, when I get get my head behind. I'm gonna pull down with my arm. I'm gonna get his forehead to the mat. I get his forehead to the mat, I'm gonna pull down, then I'm going to lift up. I'm gonna actually turn my head into him, to almost put my ear to my shoulder. Pull down, lift up. Watch what happens. One, it makes it very, very tight. All right, I get here, head behind, I pull his head down to the mat, now I lift up. Look what happened. What happened? What happened? His leg is going to come up. Reason? To relieve some of that pressure. Okay? Because I'm here pulling down. Now I lift and I put my ear into his armpit, almost try to drive it to my shoulder as I lift up. Alright? Now, what I'm going to do is, remember what I said, you shouldn't be on your knee for an extended period of time here? We're going to stay on our knee for a couple seconds and we're going to scoot around the side. Some people like to do this and actually go down to their hip and almost sit and scoot around. Well, that's fine. If you're good at it, hey, if it's not broken, don't fix it. All right? But you wrestle some funky guys and you go to this hip and I start to come around, he might step over it. So just be aware of that. The person with the higher hips usually wins the position. So what I want to do is I'm going to stay on my knee. I'm going to come here, get him extended, head goes behind. I pull down, I lift up. Now, all I'm going to do, I'm going to stay on my knee and drive into him. Okay? Drive in, attack. I'm going to attack his leg, and I'm going to come around. If you have long enough arms, and you're comfortable coming up to the waist, that's okay. For me, I've got short, stubby arms. Does not work out too well. Here, attack. And plus, I like to go to a cradle. So here, I'm ready to do that. Now, I'm going to circle. I'm going to pull this head with me as I circle. I'm going to step behind. As soon as I step behind, I know this leg is secure. He's not coming out. Waist. Now, I'm going to let his head slip. I'm going to actually give him a job to do, getting his head out, because this is uncomfortable for him. I'm going to let his head slip out, right to my chop. Okay? Getting that cross wrist.